I've got my headphones in.
Good morning. Are we live? We are here ready for day 2. If you're on the chat, if you're on the live, go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know that you're here. Let us know where you are from. Have you watched day 1? Are you on day 2? Did you watch yesterday? Did you love it? What was your biggest takeaway? I'm loving seeing your reflections that have been coming through in the group from day 1. They're so powerful, so awesome. Yes. Have we got people joining? Yay! People are jumping on. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. It's my morning. Yes. Beautiful. I'm just going to check the comments here. Check the comments. Let's see what we got. Yahoo! Sabrina, I heard it is your birthday. Happy birthday. Yay, Linda. Lindley, hello. Melissa. Jen, welcome back. Yeah, so good. So good. Hi, EJ. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Yahoo, Jen. So awesome. Yesterday was so fabulous, and I hope that you've already started to apply what you've been learning. Let me know what you have taken action on in the last 24 hours. That's tomorrow. It's come up on my Facebook as today. I think we're a day ahead. So happy birthday for tomorrow. That is so cool. So cool. Yay, Suzanne. Hi, beautiful. Shanita. Hello. Cool. Do you want to tag everyone? Yeah, beautiful. Awesome. We are live. So good. Cool. Yeah, let me know what you've been taking action on in the last 24 hours since our call yesterday. What you've implemented, what you've actioned. Remember, ideas are only ideas, learnings are only learnings until we implement them, right? It's in the execution, it's in the implementation. So I invite you to have a whole heap of courage. Good morning, Lindy. Good morning, Shanita. whole heap of courage as we step into this next level. And if you're jumping on right now, I'm going to invite you to join me in an opening. Like I said, if this is the first time that you have ever watched one of my live streams or one of my masterclasses, I do things very differently. And I'm going to set today an intention for us all. You can join me in this. You can close your eyes if that feels good. You can keep your eyes open. But whatever you're doing right now, I invite you to drop into your heart. I invite you to feel this part of you that is so ready to be unleashed. And as you breathe in, can you invite more of your own power, more of your own love, more of your own life force, your own essence to come into your awareness right now? And can you, in this moment, exactly as you are, can you take a moment to imagine what it feels like to be experiencing the success that you so deeply desire? Can you, for a moment, imagine what it feels like to have an influx of clients, to have an influx of inquiries in your DMs, in your emails, to have a whole lot of new payment notifications? Can you feel what that feels like in your body in this moment? Go ahead and double that feeling. And then go ahead and double that feeling again. Let your imagination show you what it feels like for this influx of new clients, new payments, new inquiries, waking up to payment notifications, writing amazing content, and having people ask you how they can work with you without you even having to do anything. What does that feel like in your body? And when you're ready, hold that intention for yourself today to expand your capacity for receiving inquiries, your capacity for receiving new clients, your capacity for receiving more money. And as you do that and hold that intention for yourself, can you also hold the intention that the more that you rise, the more that everyone in this space rises? And when you're ready, gently come all the way back into your room, into the space, into your body, opening your eyes. Welcome back. How was that? How are you feeling? Was that delicious? Was that amazing? Beautiful. Beautiful. Cool. So welcome officially to day 2 of the CEO series. My name is Libby Robertson. I'm the founder of Paradigm, and we're really on a mission here to empower 1 million women all over the world to step into their potential through their purpose, through their desires, and create their most aligned, purpose-filled businesses so that together we can make the world a better place, one business at a time. That's how it starts. And I want to thank you if this is your second day back. This is amazing. This is so cool to have us. We notice always a drop off, right? And the fact that you're here, whether you're live or on the replay, if you're live, amazing. I'm so grateful to share this space with you. And you can give yourself a big hug or a pat on the back, because there's one thing to register for something and a whole other thing to actually show up live or show up on the replay, actually schedule it and do the work. And it's in the implementation from what we learn that you're going to get the results. We have approximately just over 200 people that are joining either on the replays or at some point in the next 2 weeks. And my hope is that if each of us take this challenge that we're here to make an extra $5,000 in the next 30 days, that means that together we're going to be creating $1 million in the next 30 days. How freaking awesome is that? Go ahead and type million in the comments if you're excited for us to collectively create $1 million together in the next 30 days. That is my collective challenge for us. But my personal challenge for you is that you take this seriously, right? We're giving you a ton of value. We're giving you lots of tools and lots of things that you're able to implement right away. But it's up to you to take that challenge on for yourself and go, you know what, Libby? you know what? I'm going to take you on in that challenge, and I'm going to do what it takes. I'm going to take this knowledge. I'm going to take what I'm learning. I'm going to action it, and I'm going to set myself a goal. I'm going to set myself a challenge for an additional 5K, right? If you're already doing 10K a month, make it 15K. If you're already doing 5K, make it 10K. If you're doing currently 1K a month or zero, make it 5K, right? I know for a fact that you can do that. How do I know? Because I've seen it time and time and time again. And when I started this journey, before I'm talking about expansion, before I'm sharing with anyone anything like I'm teaching today, I made that decision for myself. I was not someone that had a very powerful relationship with money at all. And I decided that if I'm going to start my own business, I'm going to succeed way more than if I was to try and stay in corporate. And the reason that we continue to expand and continue to grow on this path of business is because I've got this huge vision, and I constantly meet myself at the challenges that I set for myself. So can you do that for yourself today? Can you set yourself that challenge? Do you accept the challenge? Let me know if you accept the challenge. Let me see if we accept the challenge. Amazing, Claire. Million. Yes, 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 yes. All right, let's do it, guys. Challenge accepted. Amazing. Oh, well done. Well done, Claire. That is fabulous. It's so cool. Million hair. I accept. Yes, team. Amazing. Amazing. Cool. Okay. Fabulous. All right, we're in then. We're in. So today, what we're going to be focusing on. Yesterday we looked at clarity. Today we're going to be looking at expansion. And really, this is a conversation around how to expand the message of your brand, how to expand your offerings, how to expand your business relative to where you're at. Now, this is a really important piece which we're going to dive into today, relative to where you're at. What I want is to help you avoid the mistakes that most people make, that we've made. We've wasted probably, I don't know, 6 figures, over 100 grand, making the right decisions, but at the wrong time. So today I want to give you the tools and break down the pathway for you to be able to make the right decisions at the right time. How does that sound? Yeah? Fabulous. And then tomorrow we're going to be looking at optimization, which I think you're going to love. I think you're going to love it. So today what we're going to be looking at when we talk about expand, this is the action of consciously growing your business through expanding your reach, expanding your audience, expanding your message, and expanding your mission. We spoke about yesterday our businesses being a vehicle for collective transformation and change. And I truly believe now more than ever, with how amazing it is that each of us have access to a way to communicate with billions of people all over the world. And you've got this unique mission that you're on. You've got this unique way that you're here to contribute to the raising of collective consciousness and humanity. And I think there's something really beautiful when we put our hands up and go, you know what? I'm going to accept the challenge of that. I'm going to have a blast while I'm doing it. And I'm going to make the world a better place. And I'm going to take back the power of my life. And I'm going to live my life on my terms in the way that I'm here to do that. And I'm going to do that through business. And so I believe as women in business, this is a really powerful opportunity for us to learn the stuff that we didn't learn in school, right? I don't know about you, but I definitely didn't learn anything about finance in school. Definitely didn't learn anything about social media. I don't even think social media was a thing. Maybe Bebo in my last couple of years at school, or anyone that remembers Bebo. MSN, if anyone remembers MSN, actually, I guess that was the first social media. But we have this beautiful opportunity to remove the limiting beliefs and the mindset that says, I don't know how to do that. And every time you say, I don't know how to do that, what you're really saying is, I can't be bothered becoming the kind of person that's going to achieve that, because I'm going to let that limitation get in my way. Now, I know that you're better than that, and I know that you're more empowered than that. And so I invite you to flirt with the discomfort of anything around perhaps technology, finances, systems, whatever we're having conversations with, or whatever you're finding yourself encountering as you're stepping into this next level, and go, you know what, I'm becoming the kind of woman who does create a successful business. I know that I've never done that before. I know that no one in my family has ever done that before, but I'm choosing to be that kind of woman, and I'm choosing to be the kind of person that figures shit out. If I don't know, I'm gonna figure a way out. Right? You feeling me? Who's on board? Can we do that? Can we own the fact that we are intelligent, that we are powerful, and that we can figure out the stuff that we don't yet know in order to get to where we're going? Capiche? Yes, whoop, yes. Okay. So when we think about expansion, we've got to have a conversation around some really key pieces. And I'm going to make this really, really simple for you. If you think of this as like a checklist, right? Make sure that you've got these areas set up in your business, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to reach more people, generate more revenue in your business, and expand your message and your mission. So make sure that you've got a website or a sales page set up. Now, you're going to hear a lot of stories in the coaching industry that you don't need this. Sure, you don't need it, but I'm going to share with you why it's important in a moment. Social media. Now, my guess is that you're here and you're watching this on social media. So, tick, well done, celebrating you. The next thing that you want to consider is a payment gateway. Okay, we're going to talk about what this is in a moment. Think about how your programs, how you're going to be delivering your offerings and your coaching, right? Where you're going to be hosting them, how you're going to create a really beautiful customer experience, and then we're going to be looking at your sales process. Cool. So what we've got to consider with the website, right? This is going to give you credibility in the eyes of the buyer. If you're learning the tactics from someone that started a business and a personal brand, say 10 years ago or 8 years ago or even 5 years ago, and they were like, you don't need a website, you don't need a website, but it is going to give you a boost when it comes to people going, well, who is this person? I don't know who this person is. What's something that I can have in order to make me feel safe to invest with them? Right? I don't know about you, but when I started online, I've only just started online shopping in the last 6 months. Right? Apart from that, before that, in the last couple of years, I would purchase maybe some courses and programs and coaching online, but I would never do online shopping. I just had this really weird relationship where I don't know about you, but what's your relationship with buying things online? Right? I know for a lot of people, it feels like a whole new experience, and it can feel dodgy. I know we've all heard of dodgy stories. And whatever you can do to mitigate that risk in your consumer's eyes and your customer's eyes, especially when you don't have that personal connection. If you're just connecting with people online and you're sending them to a web page, but you don't yet have the credibility of the personal brand or of the referrals or of the personal relationships, then having something else which allows them to feel like, okay, this is legit. This person is legit. What I'm investing in is legit. Okay. So it's definitely worth the time. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be amazing. It doesn't have to be super high tech. You guys should see my first website. It's horrible, but it was just somewhere for people to go. And that was where I directed people when I was giving them information about my coaching. It's going to allow you to be found on Google searches, right? And it's going to allow you to be found and send a link to people and have people just go, this is amazing. I see what this person's talking about. I see the value of this coaching, and it's all there on one page. When you're selling a service, it's different than selling a product, right? When you're selling a product, you think of when you go to the shop, or you go to, let's say you go to a shopping mall and you're looking for a new pair of jeans. You go to a couple of different stores, try on dozens and dozens and dozens of pairs of jeans, and you find the perfect pair. And then you maybe go around a couple more shops just to make sure that you've made the right decision, right? You're like, can you please hold these? I'll be back in an hour. And then you try all the different other style jeans on, and you're like, nope, I want that pair of jeans. And so you go back into that store and you're like, I'm going to take those jeans, and you pay for them and you get them and you walk away and you're, yay, new pair of jeans, how fun. Right? You're getting something with that purchase. When you're selling a service, someone's not getting something. So the more tangible you can make the experience for your clients and your potential clients, the easier it is for them to invest in something that's intangible, right? Coaching's a transformation. It's something completely, like, you can't touch it. And as humans, we are tactile beings. We love the material, having things in the material world. So the more that you can create these experiences for your clients to feel like they're receiving something, or that they're engaged in some sort of exchange that they can physically see, hear, touch, the easier it's going to be for them to buy. Cool. Is that making sense? Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Thinking about a payment gateway as well. So this is something like Stripe, PayPal, right? There's no cost set up normally for this to get set up. It's normally a percentage of whatever revenue the business is generating, or each payment, Stripe or PayPal will take a percentage. But again, it's going to give you credibility, right? By having something that is universally accepted or widely accepted, rather than, I think I was trying to pay someone the other day for something via, I can't even remember the name of it. Anyway, it's not available in New Zealand. I think it was Venmo. It's like a PayPal style thing, and they're a small business, and like, I couldn't pay them because the payment system that they were using wasn't available in my country, and we figured it out. But just consider the buying experience and who you're wanting to serve. If you're wanting to have a global brand, is the way that you're currently taking payment conducive with that? Is it easy for people to buy, or do they have to jump through hoops? Right? You want to make it as easy for people to buy as possible. Social media, we've already nailed this. Most of us, we've already got this, right? This is how essentially you're going to be marketing yourself. That's a whole other conversation, marketing yourself. Right? But we're showing up online. This is where people are going to find you initially. Most of us expect that we create a website and people are going to go straight to the website. When we're creating a coaching back brand in the online world and online space, it's done very differently than a traditional business where you build a website and then go down an ads route and direct people straight to the website. Oftentimes, the landing pages that you're creating are the last thing that people will find of yours, right? If you're building your business on social media. And so your social media page becomes your marketing, it becomes your advertising. We're going to talk about that, the advertising side of it, in a moment. But when you have limited resources, right, in the early stages, you've got more time than you do money, most of us, right? More time than we do money. And so when we can utilize social media to be seen, to have intimate relationships, to get to know people, and to be seen as the go-to person, even with a very small audience, this is how you're then going to feed people to the website, to the web page, which adds more credibility. And then with the payment gateway is how people are going to purchase. Okay, once they're in, you're going to want to direct them to where the experience is taking place, right? For some of you, might be using Kajabi to host your programs. For some of you might be using uploading your trainings or your coaching sessions onto YouTube into an unlisted link. Others of you might just be using live streams into a Facebook group, right? You might just be keeping it very simple for now. But either way, making it as tangible as possible to show people, hey, this is where we're meeting. This is where you're going to go when it's time to make an offer or to work together. And then this is how you can pay. And then this is what you receive. This is like giving them the pair of jeans, right? This whole process is like, imagine it's a shopping experience for them, right? Next, we've got to consider the sales process, right? So to go from, if we just go back for a moment, to go from just connecting with someone online, just connecting from, via Instagram or via Facebook, there's this process. Maybe people are going to be asking for a link. Maybe people are going to just want to pay straight away. But then there's also that consideration of how are we going to move them from your social media, when you're connecting with them on Facebook, when you're connecting with them on Instagram, how are you going to move them to become a client? right? And that's through, we can go back to the next page. We can go, this is where we go through the sales process, right? And so whether you're having message conversations with people back and forth via DMs, whether it's via Zoom, whether you're having a phone conversation with them, whether you're meeting in person, right? And you're like, hey, you live down the road from me. Let's grab a coffee. Let me see how I can help. All that sales is, I'm going to share something that could change your entire business if you don't already know this. All that sales is figuring out and helping someone see for themselves where they are currently and discovering, getting to know where they want to be. And then your offer is what gets them from where they currently are to where they're going, where they want to be, right? And your job as the entrepreneur, as the coach, as the healer, is to figure out if your medicine, if your offer is the best thing for them, right? It's to figure out for them, right? Notice I said for them, not for you, it's for them. So what questions do you need to ask in order to figure out if someone is a good fit for your offer? Well, you want to understand where they're at now. You want to understand where they want to go. And then you want to understand perhaps what they've tried before, what's working for them, what's not working for them. Right? What would it mean for them to be able to achieve their goal? What would it mean for them if nothing changed, if they stayed the same? And how would it feel for them to have support to go from where they are to where they want to go? Right? Chances are, if they're speaking to you and you're having a conversation with them, they'll be like, that would be amazing. And then this is where you take the work that we did yesterday and creating your offers, and you say, great, this is how I believe that I could help you. I'm going to help you get to here, and we're going to go through this, this, and this. And this is the process that we go through to achieve that. How does that sound for you? Right? So it's very organic. You're essentially becoming an assistant buyer, right? It's like you're teaming up with your potential client, and you're like, hey, I see you. I see your power. I see how amazing you are. Like, you're incredible. I like you. I would love to support you. I can see that we have some synergy. Where are you wanting to go? Tell me about your dreams and tell me what's coming up for you right now. I'd love to see if I can help. Right? Can you feel how natural and heart-centered that feels? Can you feel that? Let me know if you can actually feel that. Let me check the comments. I'm going to grab some water. Let me know in the comments if you can feel that. It sounds fun. Yay. Yes, amazing. Okay, guys, I'm loving these comments. Seems so less daunting than otherwise I've heard of it. Sounds fun. Good. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, it really is. Honestly, it gets to be so fun. And this is why I love to dispel the myths around what it actually takes to expand your business. Because so many of us have these beliefs about sales, right? Where it's like sleazy and icky, manipulative. But when you believe so much in what you're offering, and this is why we see the coaching industry and the healing industry and personal development industry growing so much, because more than ever, we're at a time of massive collective change, huge collective change in consciousness. And more than ever, we're needing more skilled coaches and healers to help other people come home to themselves. And essentially, that's what we're each doing as coaches and as healers and mentors and guides and teachers. From the heart and service, yes. Oh, yes, Carla, amazing. So beautiful. I love that. From the heart and service, not sell. So much more comfortable. You've totally, oh, yay, Jim. So happy. Feels so natural and genuine. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Cool. So I'm excited to see you apply that to your businesses. More sales happening. It gets to be, I always say to my clients, like, change the name of sales. If it freaks you out, just call it marshmallows or something. It doesn't have to be scary. It's literally helping people. That's what it is. And then you just exchange money because you're like, I've got something amazing. I value myself. I would love to be able to spend all day helping you for free. And we live in an economic society, and I love myself enough to know what my work is worth. And I know the value of the work that I'm here to bring. And I'm here to help you. And I know that you're going to value it more when you also exchange something that's valuable for you. And I happily receive the money that I'm charging and the price that I'm putting on this. And I'm so grateful to be able to share in this really intimate way. So please keep me posted with the results that you start to see from this. Amazing. Okay, so when we look at expanding your brand, we've got a couple of different channels. Let me know if you've got all four of these already happening in your business: Instagram, Facebook, email, in person. Let me know which ones you've got: Instagram, Facebook, email, in person. Do you have all four? Do you have one? Do you use two, three? Which ones of these do you use? So I'm going to make it really, really easy for you. Right? I want to simplify as much as possible how to actually use social media to bring more sales into your business, to help more people, and to expand your business. And it can be so confusing of like, how do I use Instagram? How do I use Facebook? Apart from posting randomly, how do I actually use it to grow the business? And if right now you feel like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that clients are going to come in, and you're like every day, like, please clients come in, please clients come in, please clients come in. Right? I hear you. I've been there as well. And one of the most simple ways that we can break it down is Instagram is essentially a really cool platform for creating viral content, more viral posts, posts that people share, and random people start to find you. You've got hashtags that you can use, and it's got a really beautiful reach. Like the amount of people that you can reach on Instagram, it just feels like a very beautiful brand growth platform. For me, that's in our company, that's how it feels. That's how we utilize Instagram. And we use it in a way that's, if you start doing this, using Instagram to share your knowledge, education, sharing more of your lifestyle, and treat it very, if you treat it very professionally and like the business that you are, right? Now, as a personal brand, if it's you at the moment, there's this really strange energetically thing that happens. And I remember going through this of feeling really weird that it was me showing up online, but it was also a business. And what I started doing to help separate Libby, the person, the soul, the human, the daughter, the wife, the sister, the friend, the messy human, versus the business, the brand, the coach, the mentor, the leader, the business and the entity of the business, right? The actual business entity, was I started to see the consciousness of the business. And I started to separate while there's not necessarily a separation, energetically, I found it a lot more helpful to see that when I'm showing up online as a business, people are seeing the brand and the company, not me as a human. And what I mean by that is putting yourself out there and showing up online, and letting yourself be seen, right? There's a lot of visibility work that we do in all my programs with clients and fempreneur, and in my intimate spaces. We do a lot of work on visibility and allowing yourself to be seen. Because what happens is, if you feel like it's you exposing your entire self, which essentially you are doing, if you're in the early stages receiving criticism or projections, or let's say just a lack of sales, it's very easy for us to take that personally and let it mean something about us as a human being. And when you can see that your business is your business, and yes, you're the face of your business, and yes, you are the brand, but it's a facet, a tiny little microscopic, like teeny tiny amount that most people are seeing of you online, right? Unless you're spending every day for a long period of time with someone, it's very hard for us to get to truly, truly know the most intimate details of a human being. And so I found it a lot easier to grow the business when my worth wasn't attached to what was happening in the business. My worth as a human and the value that I bring into the world as a human being is intrinsic. Nothing can take that away. And for me, that was a really pivotal shift that allowed me to be seen in a whole lot of new ways. Because I realized that no matter what people say, no matter what projections, no matter what I'm sharing, if people get it, if people don't, if people love it, if people hate it, it's got nothing to do with who I am as a human. So that allows me to get my message out there to more people because I do the work to see that this is my business, this is my mission, this is my brand, but then I'm here, I'm human, right? And so it's a facet of me, but it's not the entirety of me. And by making that shift, hopefully, this is just going to unlock a piece for you that's going to allow you to be seen in a whole new light as the expert, as the leader, still sharing the deepest aspects of yourself, but also knowing that when you're showing up online as the business and as the brand, that doesn't change who you are as a person, right? Who you are as a person will change the brand. Right? The more that you open your heart and let yourself be seen and know your worth, know your power, right? That is going to speak volumes. And that I believe is a lot of the energetics in the magnetic approach of calling people from around the world into your business, even if you've got a small audience. Okay, was that helpful? Can you relate to that? Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Beautiful, beautiful. So when we look at Facebook, this is really, I love Facebook. I love it. I know people have really funny relationship with Facebook, with social media in general. I just think it is so cool that we live in this time where we can communicate like this. This blows my mind. My first proper sales job was about 15 years ago, 15 years ago, and I was walking door to door, door to door, door to door. I was able to talk to maybe 5 people an hour. And I would spend all day on my feet walking door to door, selling charity subscriptions, getting people to sign up to the charity. And now we literally get to open a live stream and speak with, there's 24 of us live. There were 30 of us or so of us live yesterday, spending an hour together. There'll be hundreds more people that watch this. Like, this is just, I just think that this is so cool. And something that I love to use Facebook for is live streams, is building intimacy, is getting to meet people, build relationships. I love the groups on Facebook. If you're not already connecting with people in different Facebook groups, I think this is a really cool sales strategy or a networking strategy that's available to us. Just like in a traditional sales sense, you'd be thinking, okay, where are my ideal clients? Where would my people be hanging out? Where would my community be hanging out? And let me go to that coffee shop. Let me go to that event. Let me go network. But we've got this available to us at our fingertips now. Right. So I love Facebook for building intimate relationships. And often I find it really helpful to bring people from Instagram into Facebook, where into a group or something like that, or even just connecting as a friend. Even the word friend is a little bit different than a follower. And by connecting with people on Facebook as friends, right, you're just wanting to help everyone that's in your world live their best life. This can create a really cool holistic approach to how you're utilizing social media to bring them into your world and into your community. Email, right? This is powerful when you've already got the relationships. So let's say you connect with someone on Instagram, they find your work somehow because someone has shared it, they love your post, they love your content, they love learning from you. Then they get to know you more as a friend, right? So you're bringing them more from just the brand, and you're letting people in to see more of the human. You're letting people see more of you. And once you're connecting with this, let's say they come onto your email list, right? You're gathering their information by giving away something really valuable for free, getting their email address in exchange, and you're keeping in touch, or you're inviting them to events, you're letting them know some, more of behind the scenes. This, I believe, is a really powerful way to keep in touch and kind of beat the algorithms. Everyone gets all the messages in their inbox for now. Let's see what happens over the next couple of years, right? But with Facebook and Instagram, you could do 10 posts and maybe someone that you're hoping sees it or that you had in mind when you were writing the post, they might not be on social media for 3 days and they might miss it. So by sending emails, people are able to get all of your things. I love to send it. We love to send out a weekly newsletter where I share exclusive content just behind the scenes of whatever's been happening that week. And we aim to just send one a week at least every single Monday. I've been doing that for over a year now. And it's really easy for me. I just write whatever's been going on and the team does the rest and whoop, goes out and everyone gets to have cool access behind the scenes. That's the way that we continue to have a relationship with as many people at once rather than one-on-one. It's you get to expand your business by having a relationship with thousands of people at any one time. Then we've got in person. I honestly, this for me is my favorite. I freaking love in person connecting. This was one of the first strategies that I used. And even though I was growing an online business, I knew that if I could get in front of people, people will feel me and they'll feel my intentions. They'll feel the deepest part of my soul and my heart. And they'll see how much I truly care. And plus, who doesn't love in person, right? I think it's just so cool. And what I've found and what I notice is something really cool. When people have met you and they know you in person, they become so much more loyal, right? I feel like, I don't know about you, but for me, whenever I know someone, I'm supporting them, I'm rooting for them. I want to be part of whatever they're creating. I want to be as helpful as possible. I want to know how I can add value to whatever they're doing, right? And I feel like I'm part of their intimate circle. And wherever I've been around the world, I've made an intention whenever I've been traveling, not for the last 3 years, but before that, it was always traveling a lot. And wherever I was going, I was constantly, how can I meet more people? Right? Because I believe that one person that you're meeting in person in real life, you hug and touch and be like, hey, great to meet you. I believe that that is more powerful or equally as powerful as 100, even 200 people online. And this is honestly, if you're right now, if you've got a tiny audience, I would be focusing on getting as many relationships as possible. And if not in person, as close to in person as possible, right? Get on virtual Zoom meetings with people, have a virtual coffee, get to know as many people as possible, right? We're building a business with real relationships, which is how we get around the tiny audience when we're starting. We're like, where's my audience? Still building it. How are we doing for time? Cool. So why are we expanding, right? We want to make sure that you're creating something that is sustainable and that you've got this longevity of your business that we're creating. What we don't want to see happen is that you are starting your business, you're having an initial boost of success, you're having an initial influx of clients, and then everything's fizzling up. Burr, burr, burr. Can anyone relate to that? You're like, where are the people? They were here, but now they're gone. What's happening? Right? Because without potential new clients, new potential clients, you're not going to have new clients. Okay. So what happens when you're not constantly expanding? Right? And we see this a lot. One of the biggest things is you'll probably feel like things are very stagnant right now. Can anyone relate to that? Type yes in the comments if you have noticed that things have been perhaps stagnating for you, either now or in the past. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right. The next is that you'll probably see people switching off. So you might have had a lot of interest in specific offers to start with, but then you're speaking to the same people and they're like, you've been talking about this for 3 years. It's so boring. Right? Obviously, it's not boring. We know how amazing it is. But I find this really fascinating. If I don't know, I noticed this a couple of months ago. Whenever I go to the supermarket, my new favorite thing is sugar-free chocolate as a treat. And I noticed that in the chocolate aisle, there's this brand that we have in New Zealand called Whittaker's, and it is the most delicious chocolate. It is my favorite. And I noticed that every couple of months, they'll do a limited edition product. right? Because it's like everyone goes to the supermarket, you see the same stuff, but then every now and then they'll do a limited edition flavor where it's like, oh my gosh, I've got to get that. I know it's only for a limited time. And so even though they've got the same products that everyone's used to, they're always doing something that's new and exciting. Right? So if you're noticing the stagnation, if you're noticing that people are switching off, that means that it's time to bring something new, bring a new energy, bring something limited edition, bring something fun that are going to get people excited and like, oh my gosh, that is so fun. I want to be part of that. I want to know more about that. Right? You're probably noticing fewer signups as well. If you're not constantly expanding, it'll feel like there's that initial boost, but then over time, people are continuing to just each launch maybe gets less and less and less and less. Limited editions. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I'm seeing your comments. Amazing. Cool. All right. So this is where we get to get really, really intentional with the actions that we're taking. And this is where I want to help you save some money, avoid some mistakes, and know what decisions to be making at what part of the journey that you're on. So, what do you actually do to expand your business? Right now, most of you that are here, you're probably at the startup or the shape phase or somewhere in the middle. Right? What you want to do is if you are at the startup phase, what I would be focusing on is spending as much time as possible getting out there and meeting people. You want as much brand awareness as possible, right? You want to be building credibility. You want to be building word of mouth. You want to be, if possible, just sharing your work with anyone that'll take a session. I remember when I was starting out, I was like I mentioned yesterday, I was doing so many free sessions and I was doing it like, I was like, man, I can't even give away a free session sometimes. So I'd get really creative with how I would invite people into a free session, right? Because people are like, what even is that? So you have to sometimes get really creative with how you're getting your work out there, right? If you're not yet, if you're struggling to move into the next bracket or into the next place, look at, are you doing the right moves for the right stage that you're in? Right, so getting out there as much as possible. If you are already in the shape phase, you're already doing about $3,000 to $10,000 a month. You want to be focusing on getting really intimate with your audience, right? You're still probably going to be focusing on this brand awareness, credibility. In fact, you'll always be focusing on this. The energy behind it will just simply shift because more people will start to know who you are. And then what you want to be doing at the 3 to 10K a month is getting really, really intimate and building such deep relationships with people. And what we want to make sure is that you have some really clear offers and you're being very intentional with sharing how you help people. We want to make sure that everyone knows how you help. And the way you do that is through Instagram, Facebook, emails, right? In person. Cool. What you'll be focusing on at the scale phase, if anyone is here, is you're going to start to be thinking about more of an automated process. Maybe it's not ads straight away, but you're definitely going to start to be focusing on an elevated social media presence. You're going to be focusing on mastering your skill set, what you're being known for, what your brand really stands for. You'll be more focusing on the brand. Here, you're more just trying to get the business up and running. And then from about 10K to 30K, you're more intentional with the brand and the company side of things. When you're at the skyrocket phase, you're going to be starting to look at really slick automation process. This is really fun. You're going to be looking at some easier ways for client acquisition and more of a global reach. You're going to be looking at super targeted messaging and super targeted offers, right? And then when you're at 100K months, you'll be looking at mostly scaling with the one business with one or two key offers. You'll still probably be launching things randomly here and there, but essentially it's going to be a few key offerings with a larger audience and really, really powerful systems and scaling. We, as we've been scaling, we've made so many mistakes, so many mistakes. And I see clients and I see people making the mistakes as well. But some of the biggest mistakes that you'll make is thinking that you're further along than you are. And one of the biggest mistakes we see at the startup phase is that you haven't yet built the credibility and you're overcharging for your offers. And so people aren't buying. You know how amazing the work is. right? I know how amazing your work is, but you're selling to people who don't know who you are. You haven't yet got the credibility or the expertise, and they can't yet see the value in paying the prices that you're wanting to charge, right? You're thinking that your product is worth more than the customers that you're wanting to reach are thinking that it is, right? If I could go back again and do my business again, I would actually go into the market at an even lower price point, and I would build up more of a demand, because I went through a big lull in about 2019, 2020, um, where I had gone in and raised my prices too quickly. I would have spent more time building up more demand and sold myself out. I had to spend a couple of months recovering, and that cost a lot in terms of finances, in terms of emotion, in terms of my own mental well-being as well. And I want you to avoid that mistake. Right, so really get clear. And the way to find out the right pricing, like we spoke about yesterday, is to just get out there and have conversations with people. What did they see the value as? Right, if people aren't buying, then there's something missing, either between the pricing or the messaging, or them being able to see the value. So come back to the basics, build real relationships, have real conversations, figure out what people are actually struggling with and what they actually want, and then how valuable that is to them. And then you'll be able to figure out your price point. When people buy and they start buying, you'll know that you've nailed the price, right? If people aren't buying, it's likely too high in their eyes, in their perspective. Now, I know I see what a lot of people are doing is they're looking at people in the different stages. If we could just go back to the stages, please. Thank you. People, you're starting here at the startup, or you're at the shape phase, and you're learning from people at the stratosphere stage, and you're trying to take on these, or even at the skyrocket stage, and you're trying to apply these strategies to your business and where you're at, and you're wondering why they're not working. Cool. So we are actually, if you just leave it there, that'd be amazing. So one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people make as well is, for example, you might be at the shape phase and you haven't yet actually nailed your messaging. Most people don't start to nail their messaging until the scale phase. And what happens is, people at the shape phase, they think, cool, I've got a little bit of success, I'm getting ahead a lot more. Let me run ads. Let me set up funnels. Oh my gosh. And they set up these funnels, they invest thousands or even tens of thousands, and it flops, and they can't work out why. And it's because they haven't done the background work to lay the foundations to have the exact messaging for the ideal client, for exactly what the ideal client needs, and a clear system to bring them in, and then the back end all set up to be able to hold that. Right. And so if you're trying to run ads here or here and you're wondering why it's not working, that's probably why. Spend more time refining who you're working with, refining your offer, and building up more of an organic demand. We are between the scale and the skyrocket stage, and we're only just starting to look at ads now. We fluctuate between here and here, and it's like the process that we started about a year ago, and it's taken us about a year to get all the background stuff set up to then be able to be ready for the full skyrocket stage for running the ads and stuff. So just to give you a context for the phases that we're in. Right. The other thing that people make in the shape phase, if you could change that over, please. In the shape phase is your product isn't clear, and you're thinking that because one thing worked in the past, that it's going to continue working in the future, or that if one thing worked in one area, it's going to keep working in every single other area. Let's say you have a really successful launch, and you're like, that was amazing. It's going to keep happening like that. And then you don't actually do the work to figure out what it was that went really well. You're kind of just blindly continuing in that way. Why isn't it working? It's probably because you're not focusing on the expansion, you're not focusing on the clarity, you're not focusing on what your people actually want, and getting out there and continuing to grow your brand and grow your message. Cool. Okay, so how do we grow the brand? How do we get more people knowing who you are? Because you're amazing. You're fantastic. I know that if you're here, every single one of you that I see live, you'd bring in incredible things into the world. So we want more people to have access to what you're delivering. We want more people to have the medicine that you're here to provide, right? In the way that you're here to provide it. So at the beginning, right, you want to be focusing on, I personally believe that it's easier to focus your time than putting resources, unless you're super loaded when you're already going into this, you got heaps of resources that you're able to just throw at it. I would, even then, I would still focus on doing it very organically for the reasons that we just spoke about. So podcasts and summits, if you can get onto other people's stages, right, rather than you just focusing on your own podcast, if you already got a podcast, that's awesome. Also focus on getting on other people's podcasts. I believe in the early stages, especially the first two stages, it's easier to focus on getting on other people's podcasts, because when you start the podcast, unless a lot of people are coming to it, you've still got to have the audience to launch it to. So if you don't yet have an audience, or a big audience, obviously you've got some audience. If you don't yet have the audience and you're trying to run your podcast and launch your podcast every week, or inviting guests onto that and they're sharing it, you're going to be growing it, but it's probably going to be a lot of energy and a lot of effort for not that much return, right? Versus if you are focusing on already established podcasts and summits and other people's events and stages, they're doing all the legwork, they're doing all the groundwork, and they're inviting you on as a guest. You're sharing it with your audience, which is you being interviewed, which is the power of a third party introduction, which means that someone else is introducing you as the expert, which from a psychological standpoint, when someone else is introducing you as the expert, they're more likely to see you as an expert. So if you're sharing with your audience, hey, I was interviewed on this podcast, or I was interviewed on this on this interview, on this stage, on this summit, on this live stream, right, for this purpose, your audience is going to say, huh, she was interviewed by that person. That person has deemed her credible. Maybe I should look more at what she's doing. Right? Having your own podcast is also good because it's another intimate way to get to build relationships. But in terms of brand expansion, this is how you're going to start to reach more people with already established podcasts. Free online and low cost in-person events, right? Like we mentioned with the in-person things, the relationships that we get to create in person are amazing, right? They're so beautiful, so fun getting to meet people in person and hang out. And the energy that we get to share in that moment is so special. And free online events. I believe that in the earlier stages, and what we've noticed is it is easier through our own research and experimenting as well. It is easier to run free events online than low ticket, like $20 or $11, if you don't yet have the audience. And the reason for that is when you're charging a small amount, so $20 or something small like that, people are still going through the exact same buying process, and they're having to make a financial decision whether they come to your event or not. When you can remove as many barriers as possible for them getting to experience you and your medicine and what you have to offer, it's easier for them to say yes, and they're actually going to receive what you're wanting to share with the world. I believe that generosity is a really powerful strategy. And I believe that when you get to give as much value as possible, don't, like, if we're trying to hold on to information or we're trying to hold back, right? This is usually rooted in scarcity. When you know the power of your work and you know that there is so much more where that came from, right? So much more. You've got your channel connected to infinite creativity, right? You're always going to have ideas. You're in business, you're an entrepreneur, you're always going to have ideas, right? And so when you can give willingly and generously, right, that in itself is going to allow more people to feel the way that you're just wanting to help. right? I think of this offering that we've got right now. Like, this is amazing. This could sell for a lot, right? The money that you get to make from this course right now for what you've invested is a huge ROI. It's amazing, right? And it feels so good to be able to serve in this way, right? It feels so good. And so think about what's going to feel good for you to give your people, your community, to invite new people into your world, right? To have new people experience your work in a way that they're going to be like, that is so epic. Thank you so much. Collaborations with other business owners, right? This is going to be super helpful for you growing as well, right? When you can cross pollinate audiences and you can cross pollinate, if you're doing a joint live stream with someone or a joint offering, or you're hosting a summit or jumping on another summit and you're collabing on something like this, you're not only reaching your audience, but you're also reaching their audience and vice versa. So you get to share and grow your audience very organically. One person's introducing you, you're introducing your friend or someone else that you want to collaborate with. And again, it's that third party experience in your audience or in your community's eyes. Cool. How are we going so far? We are nearly at the end. We've got a little bit more that I want to share. Just let me check in. I'm going to have some water. Type what your biggest takeaway from today is so far. And we're gonna finish today with something that's gonna hopefully show you exactly what to focus on if you're feeling like there's all the things to be done right now. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, tricky because if you charge too little, people might be turned off thinking you can't be that great. Yes, it's a balance. It really is. Having conversations with people and getting clear on what they would expect the payment to be is, and the price point to be, is a powerful way. 3 pages of notes. That is fantastic, Lindley. Yeah, cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Get no one to before charging. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Just to clarify that, that doesn't mean that you can't charge when you are doing work, getting your work out there as much as possible. Everyone's going to be at different places. So it's absolutely safe to receive money and charge for your services when you know that it's time. And just, it's also important to be humble in that as well. Yeah, expansion essentials aren't that complicated. Yes, Moira, epic. Good, Linda. Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. MailChimp was not my friend. Okay. Alrighty. So just type yes in the comments if right now you're kind of a little unclear as to what to focus on in the day-to-day operations of your business. If you're just like, I've got so many things I want to do, where do I focus? What do I do? There's so many moving parts, so many ideas, post-it notes everywhere. Yes. I know that so many of our clients like, there's so much to do. What do I focus on? At the start of your business, you're probably not going to have that much work to actually do, right? You don't yet have a full calendar of clients. You probably could take on way, way more clients and work if you wanted to. But we get to capitalize on that, we get to utilize that. And when you're okay with knowing that that's going to grow, and you go, actually, I'm going to spend about 10% of my time on actually serving my clients, right? This is at the startup and shape phase, right? About 10% of your time actually doing the work. The rest of the time, for now, would be focused on expanding the business, expanding the foundations of your company and of your brand. So if you can spend about half of your time in creation mode, and what this is content. This is creating your offers. This is creating new ideas. This is opportunities to speak. This is creating ways for credibility. This is doing live streams. This is content creation, right? Creating new ideas, reaching out to people to liaise, to do some sort of collab with, connect with everyone on the live stream, right? Connect with everyone here and do some collabs together, make some new business friends. And about 40% of your time is going to be in selling. All right, so you're going to be starting having conversations in your DMs. You're going to be speaking with as many people as possible. Your job to grow the business is to sell. I know it sounds really simple, but that's it, right? So you're going to grow the brand, you're going to get in front of new people, you're going to continue bringing new people into your world, and then you're also going to focus on that selling. So that could be running events, that could be actually talking about your offers in your Facebook group or on your emails or on your Instagram or on your Facebook, right? That would be talking with people in the DMs, that would be catching up for virtual coffees with people, it would be hopping on, like, just get to know people kind of conversations, right? And then you're going to spend the rest of your time, so about 10% of your time, serving the current clients that you do have. Cool. So if we think about clarity and expansion, bringing day one and day two together, clarity helps you to speak to the heart of your audience. And then expansion allows you to speak to more people. The expansion formula, what we've got here, right? I want you to think about how you can start applying these to your business, right? How you can start applying these to what you're already doing, right? How much more can you up the sharing, right? As often as you can, right? I guarantee you've got content for days and every single day, literally, right? If you can extract the lessons, if you can look at what you're learning, if you can share what you've been focusing on, what you've been working on, right? If you've learned something, right? This coming to this masterclass, what you've learned, what you're learning, right? Facebook lives, Instagram lives, groups, posting across all your platforms, thinking about ways that you're able to really start to share your medicine, share your perspective, share your beliefs. And this is what it's going to set you apart from anyone else. You're not just sharing information, you're teaching, but you're also sharing your beliefs about that and your opinions about that and your perspectives of that. Right? What went well for you? What's something that you're doing that would be really helpful for your clients to know? What's something that you've just navigated that your clients are afraid to experience and you've just walked through it, right? How do you get to engage? This is where you get to build the real relationships. When I started my business, I found it so hard. Like, I don't know if this is an energy thing or if it's a mindset thing. My sister and I was speaking about, because she's the same. I found it so hard to respond to people, to messages. Like, I was the kind of person where you'd message me and I just wouldn't message back because it was so overwhelming, right? In fact, even with text messages now, I'm very good. I have a policy in my company now where everyone gets replied to as soon as possible. I'm not perfect, but I do my absolute best with clients. It's as soon as possible, within 24 hours, with comments and messages in the inbox. I do my best to get to stay on top of as quickly as possible, right? And that's because that I want everyone to know that they're important. And the more that we scale, this is posing new new barriers. But no matter what your starting point is at the moment with responding to people, when you do the work, and I found for me the work in overcoming that overwhelm when there were so many messages coming in and not knowing where to start. First of all, I turned all my notifications off so that when I go in, I'm responding on my time. And the next thing that I did was a lot of inner work. And the inner work was around knowing that no matter what anyone else is bringing me, I am worthy, I am whole. I had the capacity to not take on any unwanted energy, right? And I had the power within me and was doing the inner work to respond to life rather than react. And so that then transferred over into how I responded to messages, because now I was empowered in how I was living. I was responding and I was actively creating life how I wanted it. I wasn't being bombarded with all these requests and send me that and how do I access that, and there's a question about a program, and and as well as that has created more systems and structure and set more boundaries as well, and let people know the expectations on response times and where to post and what to do in order to get the most out of programs, for example, right? Our customer support is very important to me. And something else, right, especially on social media, is to respond to your comments, right? I know it's really simple, but on Facebook, your algorithms are going to be boosted when Facebook sees that you're actually engaging with people, right? So even if it's whatever it is, I find that comments are a really cool way to have a very quick, intimate, sorry, not super intimate, but it is still one-on-one. So it is creating that intimacy very fast. Like, it's small, it's fast, it's intimate, it's easy, and there's all the comments in one place, so you can just reply to the comments. Or maybe right now you're like, I wish I had that problem. I wish I was struggling to keep up with all the comments and messages, right? Just me, you'll get there. Right? But if you can build those relationships and see each comment, each message, each reply to a story as an opportunity to build a real relationship with a real person on the other side of the little profile picture, right? This is how you're going to organically expand your business and expand your brand. Yeah. Emojis. I will generally respond to however someone is responding to me. So if someone's just commenting emojis, I'll comment emojis back. But if they're saying something, sometimes if it doesn't necessarily need a response, I'll comment emojis. But if it's they've asked something or they've shared something, I'll always try and respond in the way that the energy that they've brought as well. If they've said like a really beautiful message, I'll sit and I read it and I take it in, and I'll respond as much as I can give. So yeah, invite, right? You want to invite, be the front of your business. Remember that you have something so powerful, so amazing, right, to offer the world, to offer your clients. And it is your responsibility to invite people into those events, into your offerings, to working with you, right, to catch up with you, to connect with you, right? This is your leadership. If you're wanting people to come and just go, how can I buy from you? In the early stages, right, there's other things that you can be doing, right? Inviting people, being the leader of your business, right? Being the leader of your brand. Right? Was that helpful, the expansion formula? Yeah. Fab. Give us some love if it's helpful. Amazing. Cool. So remember, the more people that see your message, the more people are likely to buy from you. Okay. So our homework for today, number one, is I want you to really get clear on sharing your message and where you're going to share your message, right? What are 3 places, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Reels, TikTok, in person? I want you to choose 3, right? Normally I would say 2, but I'm going to turn up the notch for you guys. Right? If you're already doing 2, add 1. If you're only doing 1 right now, just add 1 more, right? But intentionally, the goal is to get to 3 where you're dispersing your message in different ways, right? Building relationships on Facebook, sharing a lot of personal stuff like you would with your friends, right? Sharing more of your education, more of your expertise on Instagram, fun stuff on Reels, on TikToks, right? Or maybe it's a podcast for you. Maybe you're doing intimate trainings or intimate conversations on a podcast, right? Maybe it's in person. Maybe you're setting up an in-person event once a week, or you're connecting with people once a week in person at least, right? The next thing is creating a plan for the next 30 days, right? What's your growth plan for the next 30 days? How are you going to commit to sharing your message for the next 30 days? If you want a challenge, I challenge you to go live on your Facebook every day for 30 days. Who's up for the challenge? Right? This is how I became known with a very small amount of people to start with. If I didn't do the 30 days in a row, I would start the 30 days again. And I did that multiple times over several years. And it's how people see your face. They get to know you. They get to see your message. They get to see the title of what you're talking about. Even if they don't even jump onto a live stream and listen to the whole thing, they'll start to get to know you. They'll hear your accent. They'll hear your voice. They'll hear how you speak, how you sound, how it feels to listen to you and to be in your space. And that is what creates the intimacy, which is what allows people to then say, I want to work with you. How can we do this? The next piece that I want you to focus on is to engage, right? Look at what's the journey that they're going to go on to receive the benefits of the thing that you're helping them with, right? The outcome that you're helping them with, right? How can you let people know of the journey? How can you let people know, right? And if you don't already know, that's what to get clear on. What's the journey that someone goes on, right? And then get really clear on the impact of your work. Why should they buy this? Why should they work with you? Why should they do this program? Right? This could be for them, but it's also more for you to get clear, right? Why do you know that this is going to have a powerful impact on your clients' lives, right? The offering that you've been working on the last 24 hours. Cool. So that is us for day 2. Congratulations, you have made it this far. Has this been helpful for you? Let me see if there's any comments that I can just read very quickly. Neglecting my Facebook group, amazing, beautiful. Okay, everyone with emails. Yes, beautiful, beautiful comments. Focus. All right, you guys are rocking it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You are so welcome. So welcome. Cool, cool, cool. Fabulous. I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Day 4, I have a surprise for you. I'm going to share with you something that you are going to love, and it's going to be so helpful for you. Never done this before. I'm very excited. And then on day 5, which is going to be Monday morning, 9 a.m., the same time, New Zealand time, we are going to have a Q&A, and we're going to be giving away the prizes. If you want to enter the prize draw, we've got some friggin' epic prizes. There's some posts in the group, in this Facebook group that you'll see. If you're in the Facebook group, the Paradigm Facebook group, to enter, the instructions are all there. But if you're sharing on your stories, or if you're sharing on your social media, tag me something about this masterclass, maybe you watching or a little video or something like that. Tag me, and that's going to give you an entry into the draw, as well as inviting people into the space. Thank you so much for today, for your time. I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Together we rise.